All right, hello everybody, and welcome to tonight's broadcast of the Southborough and District Wheelers Friday Frenzy number 4. So hopefully the SDW members are now well into the hang of it. This is their 4th event, and tonight is a double header. We've got a scratch race to begin, and we have an elimination race afterwards. So race 1, starting in a couple of minutes, 6 p.m, is taking place on the Lee Valley 2012 London Olympic Park course. So it's going to be 7 laps, about 11.5 kilometres. And then there'll be a short break, and then race 2 will take place at 6:30 p.m, and that's moving over to the other side of London to the Herne Hill Velodrome, which was the 1948 Olympic Games cycling venue. And that's going to be an elimination event where all the riders start off together. There's 2 neutral laps, and then 2 riders every lap will be eliminated. So let's cut across to the start line then. Currently 65 riders lined up on the start line. So good numbers again. Zoom out a little bit, you can see there's a good number there of the SDW riders. See them in their blue and creamy yellow kits there with the black band. We've got quite a lot of familiar names that we will recognise as we go through the field. So tonight I'm not racing, I'm just commentating on tonight's event. A couple of GCN kits in there, a couple of the Canyon kits. So yeah, good selection of kits as well on show. So a minute out from the start. So this is the Lee Valley course, and I will just swap back a minute to here so you can see it's got a couple of big bends in it, and we're on that red dot on the start finish line. See where that's where the course gets pretty close to each other in each direction, so we'll probably see riders going past each other, and it's fairly flat, 17 meters on each lap, so there's not going to be any big climbs or anything, just a couple of meters here and there. So we're 15 seconds out then, about to get going. The whistle's gonna go, and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're off. Ooh. And there we go, and here's Team Oss, absolutely storming it out of the gate. We've got Gavin Ash just behind in the Canyon kit. He's a very strong rider, recognise him from the Omnium events on the Tuesday night track. And here we go, then here's the rest of the pack catching up with them on that first bend. It started off at a wicked pace. So Chris Barr on the lead, on the front of the minute. Nick Greenhall there, Ratio Racing. We'll be using this as a bit of a warm-up for the Taith Cymru, which starts tomorrow, the 5-day stage race that's being organised by Ratio Racing. Guillaume Toffoli, he's a strong sprinter, raced against him yesterday. And then a few regulars, so we've got D-Bag there, Jay Curry, Kurtz, who both of those guys just beat me last week in the TT that was held, the Tonbridge Wells 10k race. So front group here of about 25 or so riders. Still quite a few red numbers. The Ollie Clements up there, Simon Miller, the organiser of these races. He's up there in 14th, 15th place up in the group. Dave Morrison as well from Westerly Cycling Club. He's in that purple Ravy kit, just the bottom right of the screen there. He's got some red gloves on, purple gloves on. This is the not quite back on the start finish line. It's going to be an interesting finish. You can just see the start line there around the corner. There's a few riders coming up on the other side of the road there. A little bump, left-hander into that finish line. So that's going to be interesting as we come round for the final lap. think that might have been my little avatar just parked up on the side of the road there. Having a bit of a lazy one today. So far so good for this bunch of riders. What else have we got in here then? So back up, right on the front then, Jay Bennions, he's a regular. The French rider, K-Tev in that yellow kit. Seen him around a few times this week. Jumping around quite a lot as they get the churn in these little packs. A lot of people with some red numbers there. There's a little bit of a hill there around there. It dips down a little bit here. And then rises up a little bit. This far loop. People putting the effort in, stretching it out a little bit. A few riders just getting slightly separated off the back there. A few little wiggly bits in the course. Right down within the riders then, right in the pack. A few guys with helmets on, a few without. Feel safe in virtual world. Put a shoulder barge in there, elbows out. Fierce crit racing here this evening. They come round just about to complete their second lap. Let's zoom out a little bit, we'll be able to see some of the other packs on the road. That's the front group of 20 or so. And there's a couple of riders. The S-Cow still there, just gone under the start banner. Jay Page and C Duffy, and three of them in a little chase group. Gavin Ash. Pulled him out earlier, but it looks like he's slightly just fallen off the back there. And if he maybe got caught on one of these corners, you can find yourself, if you're not pushing, just slightly getting dropped out of these corners. You get the accordion effect of the group surging in and out of corners. And then Keith Aitchison, he had a good ride yesterday, finished in the top 25 in the Harry Troy 2021 race. That was a very tough, challenging race yesterday. I bonked a little bit at the end of that event. That was a 45k race. Good to see Keith back out here again today, though. Trying to stay away from the riders behind. He's a little bit isolated, but we're about a third of the way into this race. And a little bit further back, we've got T-Freak. He did quite well last week in the TT. And W Hornby, and then we've got a little group here of 6 or 7 riders. A Woolley, Gardner, M Rob, Anna Ronkainen. He's a strong rider. He finished 16th the other day in the TNT scratch race. I think she's probably our lead female on the course. So I'll have to have a little look. So these guys in a little group, catching a couple of guys ahead of them. So we'll come back to those guys as the race develops. Back to the front then. Looks like this group is whittling down a little bit. A couple of riders just falling off the back. Where you don't want to be in a crit race. The hardest place is the back of the pack. So you get that accordion effect and you're on and off. Really need to push out of those corners to make sure you're not getting dropped. Done a little bit of real world crit racing, and yeah, my bike handling's not brilliant, so I don't do too much real world racing. You want to be up near the front, but that's where you need the confidence. Yeah, sort of get stretched out around those corners. All about positioning and having to push at the right time. Ooh. So as I mentioned, this is the first race of two. We've got this scratch race where it's done on a traditional way, first over the line, second over the line, third over the line, etc. Everyone does all 7 laps. We're just over half distance then. They're coming around to lap a couple riders by the look of things. And then after this, we've got the elimination race, where every lap, the last 2 riders over the line are eliminated from the race. Keep going and going until you're down to the final 3. And then they sprint it out in a 3-way sprint for the line. So we've got 17 in this group then, a couple more riders. Tev and Ericsson have just fallen off the back. It's a challenging course with all these corners. You can see there that these 3 riders there really having to push just to stay in contention there. Burden doing 8-9 watts per kilo per second there. I think what's quite hard with the camera work with all these corners as well, trying to make sure I don't end up in the trees. Curry there just eases up at the wrong time. Now he's finding himself on the back. He's having to put an effort in to get back in contact with the group up ahead there. And it's a bit tricky with a bit of lap traffic as well. Essentially finding yourself following the wrong wheel. These guys are really pushing. They're constantly above 4-5 watts per kilo. You can see the red numbers on the left hand side indicating that those riders are at 120% of FTP. So that's on the left hand side next to the riders' names. You can see what their current watts per kilo is, and when that goes red it means 120% of their FTP. In the top left hand corner you can see the rider that we're currently following. That's how much power they're putting out. So currently we're following B. Larson. They're in 6th place, 9th place, jumping around because of the group that they're in. And you can see the top left, so their power there, those power numbers, their cadence and their heart rate. So when that number goes red in the top left, that means that avatar is braking. And that happens automatically when they're going around a sharp corner or they're a bit close in the pack to another rider. It will just ease them up. So 2 laps to go then. About 16 riders in this front group, vying for the honours in this first race, this scratch race. You can see the gradient chart along the bottom of the screen there. We come down this little dip, swing round, and then there's a little climb. Sharp little effort here, little 5% gradient. Chance for a little attack. Ooh, they come around that bend. It really gets stretched out on that corner, partly because of the bend, partly because of the climb. And it's straight into a little descent. I bet this in real life is a real challenging circuit. Larson just staying in contact there. So, who's your money on then? Anyone in the chat who's watching? Who do you think? We've got 1 lap to go. Just over 1 lap, 2K. Are we going to see anyone take a bit of a flyer? Look like they're just easing up a little bit. all watching each other. No one wanting to go too early. No one wanting to lead them out. That corner's interesting. You've got the inside line around there. Puts you in a good position, but it is a long straight. So 1.8 kilometers to go. I think you want to be in the lead coming into this final corner. See there's a bit of auto braking just because of the sharpness of it. So 1 lap, 1 mile. We've got 14 riders in this front group. Probably a couple of these guys, maybe 1 or 2 might have been lapped. That's probably why it looks like there's a few more than 14 riders. 5 or 6 SDW riders. And a few others from the RGT community. Toffoli. Probably worth a shout. Chris Barr, he recently came 3rd in an elimination race. You know, he can go the distance. Nick Greenall, the Ratio racing rider, we know he's got a good sprint as well. So it's all to play for. Actually, Nick Greenall there in the black and red. Not the usual Ratio racing colours. It gets really strung out now. Riders using that elevation change. The push, but come back together. James up on the front there at 6.6. Greenhill now comes to the front, but no, eases off. We come into this penultimate big sweeping left-hander. Are we going to see anyone going? Here we go then. Benians at 10 watts per kilo. Larson, Hoskins, they're all starting to kick. Red numbers are flying. We come round that right-hand corner. Who's it going to be? Oh, looks like it's Hoskins from Benians. Then Boa, Larson, Toffoli. Like Simon Miller picked up 8th place then. So let's go back down through the field. A few more riders coming through. Ooh. Let's find the next little bunch then. Here we go then, here's a good bunch here. So this is fighting for the top 20 then. Adam Larking in the GCN kit. He's not had such a good week this week. But it looks like it's Gavin Ash. He's a bit of a powerhouse. He's leading out the sprint. So he's going to take 19th. Garwood 20th. Curry, Clements, Larkin, Page just behind. And there's another little group. It looks like, oh, Rob Ibex from Watmo, from Aitchison. Good to see all these little groups coming home. Everyone battling. It's good to see people all in little groups. Oh, I've jumped all the way back to me there. So a few riders still out on course. Let's zoom in, give them all a bit of airtime. Let's get the rider tags on so we can see who they are here. See Dave Morrison in the background there coming around to take 36th. He's just finished then. Like Mr. Shoes here probably has one more lap to go. Good luck, Rhodes. So a couple of these are juniors. So they're under 18s. That's what the little J next to their name indicates. Hopefully they're just being caught by Rhodes. Just going to come past. You can see the little colour bars underneath their names. That's indicating how much effort they're putting in. So green is, well, it starts as blue. That's your easiest level. That's when you're just barely pedaling. Green is just cruising, then into yellow, your tempo. Then your oranges and reds as you start getting out the saddle, your sprints. With these two in a nice little battle towards the finish. Weaver and CD, both from SDW. And then a nice little battle there. So CD just slightly pulling away a little bit there. So Weaver briefly over 10. What's the kit? There we go. Here they come. Catching up. Bit of an issue maybe for Lutz there, just easing up. Here's Antoine Renou, the French rider. He organises La Classique de Jeudi, the Thursday evening French racing ride. So that's the event I did yesterday. There's a lot of organising for the French community. So that's a series that's running for the next 4 or 5 weeks. So he's spinning the legs out after yesterday's tough race. Another SDW rider here, M. Yardley. So Yardley just coming around to finish by the looks of things. Yeah. So these riders now have 10 minutes, the rest of these riders, to get across the line before the elimination race starts. There is a little bit of a tactic, which is, finish early, get a bit more rest, or you come around a little bit slower and don't go quite so deep on this race, and then you can save a little bit for the next one. So hopefully all these riders will get round in the next 8 or 9 minutes and be able to swap out and over to that next event, which takes place on the Herne Hill Velodrome, that elimination event that starts at 6:30. We're just under 10 minutes time. I'll stay here for a little bit longer, just following some of these riders. It looks like Weaver manages to beat CD there. And Thwaites is laying it down to Rhodes. Trying to get in there ahead of the floor, but Rhodes is coming back into that corner. Just nips it ahead of Thwaites on the line. Always nice to see riders all the way down the field having a little battle all the way to the end. I'm not sure what's happened to Lutz. Seems to have eased up. Then we've got Luck. A little bit on their own. Hughes, one of the junior riders. Philip Sober. And Teubler. And then there's me, my broadcast avatar. Just cruising around at the back. Not sure what happened to J Cope. They were up there, but they seem to have stopped as well. So hopefully you're enjoying the broadcast. We do try to cover a few events where we're not racing and other events where I am racing. So tomorrow I'll be in the Echelon Racing League. And then on Sunday I'm teaming up with the broadcaster extraordinaire Damon Bates and the ZMS live stream. And we're going to be broadcasting the championship event of the Gran Fondo National Series. And that's on Sunday. And that's kicking off at 2 p.m. UK time. And that's a really interesting format, the Gran Fondo National Series. So it's not a race from start to finish. There's 4 time segments throughout the race. And that's where your time counts. So you can race hard on those sections. You can ease up in between. It's quite tactical because you want to be in a big group. Sometimes it's worthwhile just easing up. Oh, that's good. Good to see that Lutch there got going again. So yeah, something that Gran Fondo series. I did the very first one. There's been 8 so far, and then tomorrow's the 9th one, the championship. And yeah, I definitely got in a position where I wasn't sure whether I should be pushing on into a group of 5 or trying to hang back. And in the end, I hung back, and we got into a good sized group, and we caught all the little groups ahead of us. So let's catch a word before the next event with Simon Miller. So let's go across. So, hi there, Simon. How are you? How was that race? You got a top 10. That was a good result. Right, the surf of the draft is always as good, and just try and find it well coming out on that last loop at the top of the track. Yeah, that's what I sort of mentioned in the commentary. Had that long loop, and then there's about 400 meters sort of straight, and that last little left-hander just sort of braked a couple people, I think. But yeah, the hairpin at the top of the track before coming on the downhill was a little bit decisive. It was just splitting that group on the last lap, so you certainly had to try and get the inside line going into that. And that's an art in itself, right? On RGT, the positioning for the inside line, which does make a difference, and you can actually influence it. Yeah, knowing when to apply a bit of power or when to ease off can affect your position of your avatar, so it's worth keeping an eye on that. But yeah, it looked like it was a challenging race. Like you say, lots of sort of hairpins and corners and bends. You couldn't really relax at any point. No, that's it. It's I've been up there a few times, and it is a very challenging circuit as a result of that. Very tight, but a great circuit. If anybody hasn't been there, it's right next to the velodrome, the 2012 Olympic velodrome. It's a fantastic facility there, and there's some single track stuff up to the side as well. So definitely worth a detour if you're ever down East London way. Well, I've done a little bit of outdoor crit racing, and in Torbay where I live, and it's a U-shaped circuit. So there's 2 very tight hairpins, and I just need a bit more experience and a bit more confidence riding in those. Yeah, and a bike that you're prepared to let go on the tarmac. Well, I've been pushed up onto the grass before, but yeah, it's I find myself at the back and then just fighting that accordion effect. Yeah. So a shout out there for Ali, one of our female riders coming back from injury. She's only been able to put a shoe on in the last week or something. So great to have her back. And Anna Maria there joining us. That's, I think, her first time out on a race on RGT. She's in the SDW colours. It's quite a tough, fast race to come out. But yes, they both finished within the sort of 25-minute limit, so hopefully they've been able to speak on over to this next race and sign in time. We should have the full field represented again in the next race. Yeah, good stuff. No, I saw there was a few female riders in there, and yeah, thanks for your insight there. I'm gonna cut back across and let you get ready for the elimination, because that will start hot as well, so you don't want to get dropped and lapped in the first couple of laps.
You look up for shilling down, yeah. Tom Moss always fast off the line. So I think Rob Burden might have been saving a bit in place on the last one as well. And John Cope, I think, had a few dropout issues, and we know what he's capable of from the last race. So his leg might be a bit pressure for this one.
Well, good luck, and we'll maybe catch you at the end.
All right, cheers, mate.
Right. Bye. So that was Simon, who I think grabbed himself an 8th place in that last event. And if we cut across now to the elimination, I turn on this. There we go. So there's your results from the last event. So, yeah, Ryan Hoskin taking the win ahead of Joe Benions. Very close there. And then Edward Bowyer in 3rd place, 0.08 seconds between those top 3. Simon Miller there in 8th place. Looks like Chris Jones has got himself an upgrade up to the gold category now. So that's part of the online RGT DB ranking system. So you can see those little silver dots and gold dots. That represents the riders' ranking. And these are both ranking events, so they do have an impact. So over to Elimination Race, and let's get rid of those stage results. So the way this works is there should be 2 neutral laps, but knowing the way these things go, they're anything but neutral. It's all just straight from the gun, off you go. And then after that, each lap is an elimination lap. And the last 2 riders over the line on each lap are eliminated from the event. But you can also be eliminated if you get lapped. So you can't be dawdling. The pack's flying and it comes around and overtakes you. That's it. Race over. You get pulled. So these tend to start pretty quick. The stronger riders like to go out hard and fast so that they've got a chance to come around and lap some of the weaker riders. And then it will settle down a little bit. A couple of sort of positional laps in the middle of the race, and then as it starts to whittle down, you see that riders will be easing off as much as they can, trying not to be leading out the pack, especially on this oval circuit. As they come round that final bend, you'll see riders suddenly surge, try and get the draft, get the jump on the riders in front of them. All right, so here we are, then off we go. I'm going to get eliminated early because I'm a slow rider with my broadcast cam. Feel it. Red numbers. Those bars under the riders' names straight away. Already a little bit of separation there between the 2 packs. A few riders either just caught napping or just not quite able to sprint off the line. They're going to get caught. Probably not caught, but they might get eliminated as they don't make it round in time. So that front group then, looking like so we've got 60 riders in total. A good number in that front group, and then there's a little pack just behind of 10 or so, just trying to bridge across. You want to get in that pack. Once you're in that big pack, it becomes much easier. Oh, so there we go. I've been lapped and eliminated straight away, 59th place. I've not even made it round a single lap. So, elimination lap then. Fortunately, I can't get rid of those race results. They're going to be stuck there now. But that would tell us the riders as they get eliminated. So at the moment, these riders in the front pack, they're all sitting quite pretty. You can see one rider there just about to go under the start-finish banner. But they won't survive for much longer because they're about to get caught. But the final 2 riders under that banner each lap, they're going to get eliminated. There we go, G Harris there. 57th place, just getting eliminated if they're lapped. Let's zoom in, get down into the front of the race. This pack slowly picks off some of these riders. So it's pretty fast and furious. You don't want to be too far at the back of that pack. So about 40 or so in that front pack. So here's Waits. He's about to get lapped. And Yardley. So they're lapped. Dave Morrison in 53rd. He's going to have the pack breathing down his neck now. They're not going to be far behind. Got a little bit of breathing room then. There you go, you can see them hurtling around that bend. Picking off these early riders who weren't able to make it into that pack. When you're on your own, it's much harder. So there's Dave then. Here's Bolton. It's overtaken a couple of riders there. He's able to extend his time out on the road for a little bit longer, and another. Well, that pack, you can see them there hurtling quick. And more than 2 riders per lap can be eliminated if they're lapped. So there's no limit on if you get lapped on riders getting eliminated. So we'll see potentially a few different riders this lap. There's another couple there. There you go. That's the 3 riders caught and eliminated. And now Bolton just about to be caught if this pack surges. So, and another 2 just ahead. So this will be how it goes for the next few laps. These riders being picked off one by one by the pack, and then that's when that pack dynamic really shifts from cruising around to actually really having to make sure you're not on the back of that pack, because that's going to be the danger zone. That's going to be where riders start getting caught and dropped as they go under the banner. So Benion's initiating this elimination lap. That just means they cross the line first. There's no bonus points or anything for that. So it looks like Benion's might be on a bit of a flyer there. He's jumped to the front of the race. Here he is. Looks like he's got a 40-meter lead over the pack behind. That's coming down now. I can just see the numbers behind that race results. So that's probably going to be hurting him a little bit. Having to put in decent numbers to try and stay away. Whether he was trying to have a bit of a flyer thinking he could lap the whole field. Of course, if you do lap the whole field, then you're the winner. So he's come back into the pack. That's really split that pack up. There's now only 20, well, maybe, well, not quite actually, maybe about 30 riders in that group. Let's see, it's 33. Benion, now look at him, now he's off the back of that pack. He put in that massive effort and the pack surged past. Now he's finding himself possibly in a little bit of difficulty. He's having to work hard to get back into that pack. Looks like he might just do it. Then as I say that, a few riders in front of him surge and that gap opens back up a little bit. So 40 riders. We're up to 40th place being eliminated. That was Goldberg. There's about 34, 35 in this group, so a couple more laps and then we'll be into pack eliminations. So Benion's made it back to the right onto the front of the pack. Then he managed to hold on. There are about 30 or so in this group. You can see at the bottom there on the gradient chart on the bottom of the screen, the white dots indicating position of riders, so it is still quite strung out. So there's Hornby and Aitchison. Looks like won't be long until they're in the sights of the chasing pack. They've just got dropped off of that group a little bit. Jay Cope, who Simon mentioned at the halfway interval, whether that's another technical issue or whether he's just falling off the back, he was being tipped for a bit of a result in this event, but he's not managed to make it. And there we go then, Gardner and Cowsill, they were the last ones across the line on that last lap, so they've been eliminated. There they are. Now Hornby and Aitchison. Oh, they're gone as well. They've been eliminated. Garwood then, he's the next rider in the danger zone. Where's the pack? Oh, he's just off the back of the pack, look. So he's going to get eliminated. And who's on the back of this group? Clements and Garwood go. So here we are then. We're into the territory where it's the pack riders that are getting eliminated. And this is where you really start to see the pack surging. They come around this corner. There's riders on the front. They're the ones with the air resistance. They're the ones in the wind, so they're going to be slowing down. And these riders behind, they can use that slipstream to overtake. Two riders at the back there. Well, they've come through. They've just nipped through in time. And it's Whiffen there who just gets eliminated. It can all change in an instant. You've really got to push right up to the line if you're towards the back. They've still got Gavin Ash having a better ride in this event. We know he's got legs for the elimination. We come round again. They come quick and fast. It's a 35-40-second lap. Three riders at the back there. That rider in the... Ooh. So Freak just getting caught. And Hoskins, who was in that blue and pink jersey. Simon Miller on the back there in 24th. He's looking a little bit in danger there. It's not too bad. Usually you find if you're on the back of the group there, it does come back together a little bit on that back straight. Ollie Masters then. Looks like he's timing that well. Come round and it's going to be... Ooh, could be Nick Greenall going there. It is. Greenall and Weston, that's a little bit of a surprise. Experienced rider, you'd have thought he might have made it through. Just got caught napping there a little bit. So we're down to, I'm not quite sure how many riders we're up to now. They're disappearing quick and regularly now. So K-Tev in the yellow jersey there on the back, just nipping through. Looks like it's a couple of SD riders there, SDW riders. Oh, Benion's gone. Maybe paying for those earlier efforts. He certainly tried to go for it earlier on. Wasn't quite able to stay away. We saw him off the back briefly. Adam Larkin having a better race in this event then. Simon Miller comes round from the back into the middle of the pack. See riders frantically trying to push up. It looks like it could be Ericsson and Bowyer there. They're the ones who have been cut out. So still a bit of a mixture then between SDW riders and other riders. Chris Barr still in there in the black and red jersey. Anna Ronkainen just at the back there in the orange helmet, the only female rider left in, pushing around on the outside. Just need to keep pushing, make sure she doesn't get swamped at the last. Oh, that looked like, yeah, K-Tev in the yellow goes, and Moss as well. So we're down to 17 riders. So there'll be another 7 elimination laps and then one final sprint for the line. See how the pace has eased up a little bit. Riders in the green and yellow zones. Pirelli has been doing quite a lot of work on the front, leading it out. Sometimes that is the safest place to be. Oh, that's anyone's guess at the end there. Oh, Chris Barr and Rob Ibex getting cut that time round. We find with that surge, it's quite easy just to fall off the back as you go around that first corner. But then the front will slightly ease up because they don't want to be pushing through the wind. So 15 riders now then. All bunched together. This is when it does become a little bit harder because you're all so close together that one little easing off and suddenly you can find yourself on the wrong side. Oh, and Simon Miller gets caught there. Him and Page are gone. Like 15th place for Miller, 14th for Page. Is anyone going to try and push things out here? Ollie Masters doing well. The youth rider there. Here we go then. Another little surge, another sprint. Pirelli now on the back. Burden, you can see there, that was so close between Burden and Ash. Anna Ronkainen on the front there. He was leading it across the line. So 11 riders. All bunched up, no one falling off the back at this point. Masters on the front. Larkin pushing through. Ash looking in trouble in the canyon top at the back. Ronkainen as well. Oh, Ronkainen's gone. And Smith. Ash powers on through. Oh, he's just eased up then. So this is where positioning really is critical. See Gavin Ash at the back there in the blue and pink jersey pushing through. There's a rider who was towards the front. Oh, but Gavin Ash just gets through, and that rider at the back also just made it through. Oh, Ollie Masters has gone then. And Bag as well. So 2 more elimination laps to go. Gavin Ash is still there. Larkin is still there. I think Hoskins went a while ago, didn't they? One of the strong riders from that first race. Curry, we saw his sprint last week in the TT. Ash leads them round over the line. Larson just gets ahead of ahead of Curry. It was on the line. Wow, only just nipped in there. And Larson's gone on a flyer. There's only 1.5 laps to go. This could be a strong move. 2 riders are going to get eliminated here. And then it's literally whoever gets round to the finish line first is the winner. So 50-metre head start for Larson. Going to be, who's it going to be? Jones and Ash making it round. Here we go then. Oh, it's Toffoli. Toffoli, Jones and Larson fighting it out. These are your final 3. Larson's pushing 8 watts per kilo, only 6 and 7 for these 2. 25-metre lead for Larson. Here's Toffoli then, 13 watts per kilo. He's coming round. Has he got the legs to catch Larson? The line's approaching. Oh, and he does it with 20 metres to spare. Great effort there, Toffoli. Timed it. Not even to perfection, he was a little bit early. Comfortable in the end. Looks like Jones just ran out of legs a little bit at the end there. Another brave effort by Larson. Oh, great racing there. Larson with about 1.5 laps to go, put in an effort, but just wasn't able to hold it to the line. Oh, that was really good. Good racing. So I think Simon will do a combined leaderboard that'll be posted up on the SDW website, I believe. And then you can find the individual race results on the RGT DB website. So Larson, great effort. And yeah, just in the chat there, Toffoli, just people acknowledging his great time in there. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you enjoyed having a bit of a break from me, just following my riding and being able to cover other people. So Simon in the chat there, losing his money. I should have taken that bet off of him. I could have been quids in. So that was tonight's Friday Frenzy SDW double header. Let's have a look, see what we can find for you for next week. So Friday Frenzy number 5 is going to take place next Friday, funnily enough. And it is going to be on the Fordcombe Loop. So it's a 20-kilometre race. 250 metres of climbing. So there's just a little bit up and down, and then dips down in the middle, along for a couple of kilometres, and then tasty little climb back to Tunbridge Wells. That looks like an interesting course. So that is next Friday at 6 PM. Sign up through rgtdb.com, and hopefully we'll see you there. Have a good week, have a good weekend. If you're riding, have a good one, and I will catch you again soon. And don't forget to check out the Grand Fondo National Series broadcast, 2 PM this Sunday. Thanks a lot, everyone. Catch you again soon.